All right, traders, it's Sunday. It's weekly three banger time, which to remind everyone are my top three highest conviction stock plays going into the week, and then we provide two bonus bangers. And before we jump into this week's stock analysis, we're going to look at last week's track record, and we had 4 winners and 1 unfortunate loser. One huge winner with ASTS jumped 21%. Now, it did sell off later in the week, so you had to be nimble and take your win. But boy, did this one go up. The other one, we were bullish on coin, and unfortunately, that one went down to the tune of about 6.25%. We were also bullish on Tempest going into the week. It actually gapped up on Monday, but on this one, you had to be nimble too because it was a fake out. It went about 5% to the upside, and then you had to get out, and like I said, you got to be nimble on these things. And then in terms of the bonus bangers, we had Tesla, which eked out a 2.81%. And then we had OKLO. We were short. We had a nice move to the downside and capitalized about 15.37%. So all in all, unbelievable week last week. And I think this week is going to go 5 for 5. So you're going to want to stick around all the way to the end to get the 2 bonus bangers. So our first stock trade that we think is going to fly next week, hopefully, is Bull. Webull Corporation, the ticker symbol is BULL. Starting out in the weekly time frame, because I want to show you kind of what happened here. So in the weekly time frame, we actually had this move down. It looked like it was building somewhat of a bear flag, and then we had this breakout to the upside. Now we are coming into some resistance here, but if we look at the daily chart, it looks really, really good. So here's what I'm seeing. So you can see we had that sharp move down. We had what appeared to be some bullish structure, but then we had a move out of it. And then we had essentially a bull flag getting created here with 2 days of consolidation. We gapped down and then closed at close to the high of the wicks of those previous days. And then on Friday, look at this long wick to the bottom side of the candle. And then we had this nice hammer candle closing basically right at the top. Could have been a green opportunity there, or green candle, but you can see it closed out red, but look at the wick action. So I do think this is going to move and resolve to the upside, so I'm taking Bull to the upside next week. Number 2 is HIMS. So this one is putting in also very, very bullish structure. You can see this on the weekly chart. This is essentially bullish consolidation and a bull flag. I have a couple different resistance lines on here because when we go to the weekly, you can see how that looks. And you can see we have these 2 descending broadening wedges. And what's interesting about that is we broke out and retested both of them. This one came back into this order block. And then from there, boom, we accelerated up, broke out through this one, back tested it, which I love, had this nice candle on Friday of the previous week, and then we put in this bullish consolidation, essentially kissed it and back tested it, and then closed up above it. So I like this one to continue next week and resolve to the upside. So take HIMS as the second banger. Number 3 is Biogen Technologies, or it's a pharmaceutical company. BIIB is the ticker. Here you can see on the weekly chart, it's building out just really good bullish structure. We're in this descending wedge, and then it broke out of it. Clearly, it back tested it once, kind of back tested it a second time, but in that back test, it created this bull flag. And then what did we do here on the weekly? We broke out, and then we're back testing it now. So if you look at it on the daily chart, you can see the price action a little bit more cleaner. You had this breakout, you had this back test, you had this kind of bear trap, if you will, kind of a fake out, broke back through, confirmed with this candle here, and here we are back testing it now. So we might see a small move down to about 134-ish, 134.50 maybe, and then from there, kind of see this doing maybe something like this, and then going to the highs. Now, there is a big order block up top where you can see it got rejected right here. So I'm going to put that on real quick. I'm going to show you this. So you can see, we have this bearish order block here. You can see it rejected it, and obviously from that came back down. So we will have resistance again at that 150 level. But once it gets through here, this could be an unbelievable move to about 200. So definitely, I'm taking it obviously as a play next week because I do think it's going to resolve to the upside. I think we're going to see positive price movement, but this also can be a long-term swing. So I really like how it's consolidating, how it's back testing, and now you can see it's back testing this bullish break of this previous order block. And that's all that is right there. So I like this resolving to the upside. Okay, so that's the 3 bangers for the week. Let's get into the 2 bonus bangers. It is DocuSign as the first one, and I'll show you why. So we have this bull flag with this consolidation. Let me draw this on. You can see we are doing some really interesting things here. So you could draw this way, and this you can see we broke out here, and it was too early, right? So it failed, came back in on earnings, and then created this kind of double bottom right here. And here we are in this bull flag, which it broke out of, and it confirmed by virtue of this candle here previous Friday. And here we are now back testing these moving averages, clearly above the 150-day, which I love, and then we're back testing the 20 here. So I like this one to resolve to the upside as well, and I think it's going to do something like this. So let me show you how these might have, maybe we gap down just a tad, or we just open flat, but either way I think it's going to do something like this and go up to the upside. Now it might not obviously go that high, so let's draw that back. Let's dial that back to about probably there. I think this has movement to that gap fill right here. Probably to about 92. That's probably going to be your target. Okay, and now let's look at the final bonus banger. It is Pinduoduo PDD Holdings. The ticker symbol is PDD, and I absolutely love what this one's doing. So we're kind of inside this larger triangle on the daily. Looks a lot like Tesla if you go back and look at the Tesla chart. In fact, let me just quickly show you that. So here's the Tesla chart. Oh, and I took off all my drawings, of course, so this is going to make it kind of tough. But it kind of looks like this. So you actually have the larger one. There we go. So let's just put that in there real quick and show you, because I want to make this comparison, because you have this kind of look. And this is the longer term wedge pattern or triangle that I was referring to. So let's put that on like so, and then you have that. So moving in, and again, I apologize, I took my drawings off, but essentially what you have is you have this triangle here and you had this tight consolidation. So if you go back to PDD, very, very similar. You're in this much larger triangle, and then you have this micro triangle right here on this bullish consolidation. And here you are, we broke through this bearish order block, and now we're at the very top of this, and it's really just back testing it. So I really do like this one to resolve to the upside. Now, how high can we go? Probably 138, 140 to the top of the triangle here. But once it gets through that, again, kind of like Biogen, I think it has a lot of opportunity to the upside. But clearly this is just a directional play for next week. So I think we are going to likely break out of the triangle and likely move to about 138. So there you have it. Those are the 3 bangers for the week and the 2 bonus bangers. So let's go back through them. So we have bullish to the upside. We have HIMS, also bullish to the upside. Biogen, think this is also going to resolve to the upside. DocuSign as the bonus number 1, and then PDD as the bonus number 2. So today, if you like the analysis, please do me a favor and like that, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, especially because you want to get these on a weekly basis. Every Sunday I'm bringing them to you live, and like I said, these are the top 3 highest conviction plays going into the week. But just know, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only, and to show you what I'm doing with my personal trade portfolio. So again, see you on the next one. Take care.